Credit to Coach O and LSU and just the job they did. Their coaches, their players, did a great job. Came and competed well. We certainly had some things go well and some things not so well. A lot of self-inflicted wounds, not to take away from anything LSU did, because they beat us soundly. The good news was we did try to make a game of it. We got it within 2 scores. Actually had the ball, I think, with about 8 minutes to go, a couple timeouts, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. Still plenty of time in the game. If you get one more score, go for 2, you make it. We were within 8. Then maybe we can get them a little bit tight. I think we got it close enough to make them think about it a little bit, but just couldn't finish.
Got another question on the front.
Coach, obviously offensively, it was tough for you guys to really get in a rhythm until late in the game. What did you think of Malik's play in particular, and maybe how much their defense was responsible for the rough night with him connecting with his receivers?
Right. Well, I know at least one pick he was getting hit as he threw it. I think one got tipped at the line, and but I think that one might have gotten picked anyway, from what it looked from my vantage point. And that's the hardest thing sometimes from the sideline, to really judge, if the ball would have or wouldn't have gotten picked. I wasn't so sure that was. I thought he should have gone to his next progression, but again, I don't see what he sees, so I don't want to say that. But Malik had some bright moments. He certainly. Made a few great throws, and we made some great plays, and we just dug the hole so deep. It's very difficult to dig out, but we did. We made it interesting there for a minute. That's about the best I could say for that.
Question on the front, right, the left, and then we'll do the right.
Coach, special teams and field position. Can you discuss that a little bit, Zach Fiegels? And
sure. Well, the first punt, it looked like we turned a guy free right up the gut, and Fiegels barely got it off, and he knew that it wasn't protected well, and so it's very much like a quarterback when you drop back in the pocket and you get hit in the mouth one time, and then the next time you're expected to drop back and expect the protection to be there and do your job, and I think he let that first one affect him a little bit. I did have a talk with him and just said that very thing. I mean, you're like a quarterback. Sometimes you get hit, sometimes protection breaks down, but the very next time you gotta trust. And even if a punt is blocked, it's not the punter's fault. I mean, obviously, if he bobbles the snap or whatever, but if you catch it and you lay it out there and you kick it in the rhythm that we do over and over, if it gets blocked, we didn't protect well enough. So, I just said, focus on your job, just trust it, and I think he did start to kick the ball better after that point. That's when he had that real long bomb that really, I think, got his confidence back. But he's been punted just extremely, extremely well all camp. I mean, just super consistent. And then the very first shot out of the cannon, I think he got shook just a little bit. I don't know if he would admit to that, but I think he did.
Question on the front.
Mark, how would you assess the play of the offensive line tonight? And I know Venzel came in a little early.
Yeah. Well, we planned on Venzel coming in early and rotate a little bit, so that was by design. We thought Venzel was the closest guy to being ready to play, and I think third series was the plan. I'm not sure exactly when he went in the game, but we had talked about him playing a little bit at left guard, a little bit at right guard, help out Jaheir and Hayden Mahoney. Mostly, I thought they did well. I mean, this is one of the better defensive teams in America, a year ago, and I'm sure this year they'll be the same. So, we went against premier athletes, and there's a lot of times we protected extremely well and gave the quarterback time, and we got people open and threw and caught it. And then there's a few times we didn't, but really we ran the ball well. Maybe should have, kept banging away at running the ball a little bit more early on. But just from my vantage point from the sideline, I didn't feel like the offensive line was the reason why we were struggling. Now there were some penalties that weren't very good. Guys jumping off sides, and we get a 2nd and 1. We get a great first down, get a 2nd and 1. We get the first down as it appeared to be, and then we get a holding call. Then before you know it, you're dealing with the 3rd and 10. 3rd and 9.5, whatever it was. So it's just enough of that that shot ourselves in the foot early on. But as the game went on, we mostly got better, I thought.
We got a question on the second row here.
Mark, there was a lot of talk this offseason about this team embracing expectations and embracing championship expectations. How do you think they handled that tonight?
Well, we didn't win, obviously, but, there's been championships won by teams that have lost the first game. If you're going to lose a game, it might as well be the first one. People tend to kind of forget about it. And if you play well as the season goes along, that's what I told the team. If we just get better and better and better and better, and begin to win and continue to win, then I think all our hopes and dreams are still alive. I think a lot of people would try to bury us at this point, but the reality is there's a lot of games to be played, and just about anybody who's won a championship has lost at least one game somewhere along the way. And if we look like a team that's really getting stronger as the season goes on, we've got all our goals ahead of us.
Question on the left side, 2 rows back.
Oh, yes, Coach. You did discuss a couple of the negatives that were going about, but what are some of the positives that you think you could build on for the rest of the season?
Right. Well, obviously Jeff had a big day, and I think the receivers caught just about everything that got to them. I'm not exactly sure what happened in the end zone. The ball got bobbled around a little bit to Cager. Couldn't really see for sure what happened there. But I thought the backs ran well with the space they were provided. There's a couple things scheme-wise that worked out good for us. I think we'll look at the film and say we had some good calls that we think gave us a chance that if we just execute a little bit better. But I think the biggest thing though was to be down the way we were down and then begin to come back and get to the point where within 2 scores and you start to feel the energy again, start to feel the juice again. That was a good sign. We weren't able to finish it off. I mean, one more score, go for 2. Even at the very end, that last drive, there's a chance for an onside kick. So we had a few drives where we had a chance to get back in it and just couldn't quite get it done. I'll say this though, we got a great room of young men, and I got great coaches, and we're going to stay the course. I can promise you that. I mean, sometimes it feels like the end of the world, but it's really not.
Final question for Coach.
Mark, there were a couple guys that got nicked up. Amon, I don't think, came back after that 9-yard catch. How's he doing? And anybody else you're worried about?
Amon, we don't know for sure. It didn't look really bad. I don't think there's any kind of ligament damage. I mean, I don't know. I shouldn't even speak on it because I don't know. But I know he when he landed on the ground, he banged his knee. And hopefully it's just nothing more than a good bone bruise. Sometimes that happens and it just doesn't recover that night, but it's something that can be recovered, from relatively quick. That's what I hope. I'm trying to think of who else.
DJ came back, I know.
Yeah, DJ came back, and he seemed fine.
Garvin came back.
Who did Garvin came back?
Gerald Willis came back.
G came back.
How about Demetrius Jackson?
I think he kind of did something similar to Amon, banged his knee a little bit. But we're very hopeful he'll be fine. We're not getting any kind of doomsday from the doctors. Sometimes the doctor starts wiggling around and they're like, uh-oh, with their experience, we didn't get that feel.
Was Travis okay tonight?
Yeah, I think so. As far as I know, we're just trying to sub guys, keep them fresh and healthy.
Can I ask?
Yeah, sure you can.
Thank you. Okay. Are with, I guess, Nikosi's coming back next week. And,
Right.
would you like to get the other quarterbacks, if Malik struggles or whatever, would you like to get the backups in a little
Well,
bit?
I mean, I shouldn't have let you ask the question, but anyway, we always are going to try to play who we think gives us the best chance to win. And then, if we're ever in position to let another guy play, then we'll do it. And, with the new redshirt rule, and I'm not necessarily talking about quarterback in particular, but just any position across the board, true freshmen now are going to get to play all across America, 3-4 games probably, which is great. Whether or not, Jaron ever gets in the ball game, I don't know. You got to earn the right to be second team or third team. And if you're fourth team, then you better hope things go really good for you to get in there. But anyway, we'll always be in the business of, playing who we think gives us the best chance to win. All right. Thank you.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much. Good luck the rest of the